So I was going through the calendar the other day and I was like, is it really the end of 2024? Because I know Christmas is near, like, basically people are, like, hanging out Christmas trees and everything, and I love Christmas. Like, yeah, really, I love Christmas. But then, as an F1 fan, because last week Abu Dhabi just ended, and, a lot of things happened there. It's emotional, it's everything. And so I wanted the next Grand Prix. So I ran to the internet to search for the next one. Because I want to be prepared. And then it hit me. Because I just realized that I was wrong. Like, the Australian Grand Prix is not in February. It's in fact in March. And I just realized that I have to suffer not 60 days, but 90 days without F1. So in order to make myself less bored during the winter holidays,
longer than my summer holidays and winter holidays all combined,
I decided to make a new series based on F1 and race cars. So welcome to the new series of Unmasked, Pistol Physics, Episode 1, Aerodynamics in F1 cars. Let's begin. Aerodynamics is a study of the motion of air when it's affected by the motion of a solid object. The airplane, for example, the way it's able to fly through the air, you may think, is all a result of the strong engines. But okay, you might need to sit down because I'm gonna break something unbelievable to you. It's the shape of wings, actually, that has a say in the possibility of flying. Like when you want to eat popcorn, but you have younger siblings. It's often when the young lads one, right? So before we get into the topic, let's touch on graphs of basics, including Bernoulli's principle, Newton's third law, drag, and lastly, lift. Bernoulli's principle is all about how the pressure within the fluid decreases while the speed of the fluid increases. When the airplane causes air to flow through the top faster than the bottom, a difference in air pressure is made, thus lift is created. An opposite reaction, that's the step of Newton's third law. Reaction pairs, they come in pairs. An airplane's engines propel the plane forward, with them pushing the air backward as the plane moves forward in the opposite direction. That is Newton's third law. Drag stops the direction of fluid caused by friction and pressure differences between the two sides of the object. It can increase the speed and efficiency of the automobile. Lift is the opposite weight that pulls the object downwards. It is created by the wind and the airforce reaction. So if an automobile has the right shape and size, it will generate enough lift to keep it airborne. Race cars, like airplanes, rely heavily on aerodynamics to keep the car on track while going on fast speeds. It's like how you try to put rock on paper to prevent it from blowing away. So, as I have mentioned earlier, the shape and the size matter the most when it comes to aerodynamics. So yeah, the shape of the race car today, different from our street cars, is what contributed the most to the so-called physics. Aerodynamics is very important because it can reduce drag and generate downforce, which in turn makes the fast car stick to the road and go faster. Downforce is a force of aerodynamics that pushes the car down and provides more grip. In short, it contributes a lot to track performances of stability and speed. So as downforce is applied, the car can go faster through corners and accelerate on straights. Where is downforce applied? Well, there are a lot actually, like front wing, rear wings, diffuser, base plates, etc., etc. The winner of a Grand Prix has a lot to do with this kind of physics. You might have heard of terms like front wing damage and rear wing damage, the contemporaries.
Okay, front wing damage.
We all know that the 2024 season is one for the books. So George Russell's P5 in Mexican GP, we all know that he qualifies in 5th, so basically that's the same place as he qualified, but as you remember a few months ago, you heard him talking about early front wing damage. Logan Sargent, who ended up being DNF'd from the Canadian Grand Prix earlier this year, was due to a loss of rear wing and unable to save it in time. How important are these two things, which are often the things that determine how well a race goes? Let's look deep into it. The car wings are like airplane wings, but upside down. What I do is that the front wing is responsible for guiding air to the rest of the car, and the majority of it. And the rear wing is responsible for creating downforce. Both wings are designed to create optimal airflow to generate downforce. Diffusers are important too. They accelerate the flow of the air under the car, creating an area of low pressure, thus increasing downforce. That is to say, as the rear draws air from under the car, it sets the car onto the track, creating much higher grip levels that will otherwise be available simply through the tires and suspension setup. Wind end plates are also very important, simply because they can promise a maximum downforce and help deliver the best performance of a race car. They are at the end of the front and rear wings and help create downforce stability during high-speed driving. By directing airflow around the wing and reducing turbulence, they improve the car's grip and traction and act as a transition area between the wings and the rest of the car for streamlined and efficient airflow. Here's the most important of it all. I know I have repeated the word for more than 1,000 times, but basically everything is important. The floor. What it does is that it generates downforce and optimizes airflow under the car. In turn, improve grip, creating a pressure difference between the top and the bottom of the car. Basically, the air pressing on top of the wing slows, increasing pressure, while the air passing down, it accelerates, causing a drop in pressure, thus pushing the car down. It is generating about 750 kilograms at speeds of 100 mph, which is about 3 or 4 times the weight of an F1 car. You might have seen an F1 car with a set of tubes attached to the rear of the car and wonder what it does. It measures airflow. Simply lovely. It's important because the pit crew needs the data during and after the race. Remember when the 2020 season, when F1 introduces a new kind of regulation and Mercedes suffer from that? That is because of their side pod strategy and basically how the computer didn't predict the aftermath of its larger downforce applied to the new regulations. So in F1 car, they move up and down and up, and through high speeds they zoom. This is called proposing, and that is a challenge for aerodynamics. Why? It can be explained by just imagining. Imagine you with a hand-carried fan on a hot summer day. Your siblings love playing with it, so she keeps shaking it up and down. Will you feel more comfortable or more wind blow into you even after the fan is turned on for more than 1 hour? No! When proposing happens, it disrupts airflow and reduces downforce, so the car just sprints upward. Well, when life gives you lemons, make lemonades. So teams started adjusting the position of the front and rear wings and optimizing the car's streamline to try to reduce proposing. Yeah, it's just flow, it's just pain, but it's important, okay? This flow or this paint, it visualizes airflow. So as the paint color changes, engineers can see how the airflow moves along the car and where turbulence or drag might be created. And then they can improve the car. Voila!
In order to collect a reward, you must see the correct answer to the myth.
That, in the world of aerodynamics, is the wind tunnel. It's used to help design and test their cars for better improvements of aerodynamics. Open wind tunnels are used in large open spaces as air flows, while closed wind tunnels are used with a scale model in smaller measurement room. What if one day there's no downforce, no aerodynamics, and the race car is just a chill guy? Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Well, the the race car simply won't be that fast. And the original force that pressed the car down to the ground at high speed is gone, so it will be dangerous. Cars without force lose stability, which in turn make it easier to lose control, so the grip that was once there is gone.
Mate, we all have no grip. You all need to leave a little bit of space.
That's the end of episode 1 of Pissed Off Physics, brought to you by Unmasked. I'll see you next time.